After years of growing up with the internet, there's little that will surprise me or grab my attention so vigorously. With an almost abrasive amount of content available, one of the only ways to stand out is to do the unthinkable. Something so polarizing. And sometimes that means dressing up as psycho clowns, just absolutely playing the hell out of a saxophone in a porta potty. From documenting several musicians and artists over the past couple of years, I can say with assurance that this will be my most absurd video and uniquely melancholic episode yet. But I don't think you're going to be bored as we dive into the rabbit hole of the duo known as Clowncore. November of 2008 marked the start of a saga known as Clowncore. The chaotic, unique sounds that mashes grindcore, freeform jazz, electronic sounds, and saxophones in the convenience of a porta potty. The duo are not known for their identity per se, but for the performance art that they have created for random strangers to experience on the internet. But I know, like myself, everyone has just one burning question for this unusual duo. Why? The band began to post their first EP on November 23rd of 2008, with such hits as You Have Cankles, Fraiser, and I Ate a Lunar bar and My Blank Fell Off. These initial songs are unique. Many appear impromptu and random, but if you listen closely, you'll notice a special kind of controlled random. A sound so full of chaotic emotions, but seemingly impressive synchronization. As the YouTuber Gaze Division mentioned, their songs like Surreal Serial feature the use of two or more rhythms that do not conventionally fit together, musically known as a polyrhythm. The song consists of hi-hats and snares in the time signature 4/4, while the bass drums are in 5/4. For you non-musical brains like myself, stick with me here. A 4/4 time signature is fairly common and is made up of 4 groups of eighth notes, with each group adding up to a quarter note. But a 5/4 time signature is identified as an odd time signature, a bit of a quirky signature, which are irregular rhythms that do not have equal beats in a bar. The combination of these two rhythms create a 4/20 polyrhythm. Whether that title was intentional or not, it doesn't matter. The sound created is unusual and rather unnerving, a classic Clowncore signature. Their first EP to their most recent projects are brimming with this constant motif. And if you only listen to a Clowncore song once, you are missing the full experience. With bands as asymmetrical and abstract as Clowncore or Death Grips, you can't possibly fully appreciate their sound without replaying it to hear the details, especially if you're not accustomed to songs that don't follow traditional music theory. I mean, is it really a good song if it doesn't take 10 plays to enjoy it? That's not to say that Clowncore or overlapping bands can only be appreciated by certain people, as they were intentionally created for all. The majority of the songs on their first EP included accompanying unsettling music videos on their YouTube channel, my favorite being Deck the Halls, a not so typical Christmas carol. But after fairly frequent uploads, 2011 marked the year of complete radio silence from the duo. Their fans were in the darkness, and they had no way of tracking down the real identity of the duo. Believe me, the internet tried. Until 3 years later, a 20-second teaser video titled, with an ominous sound and the question on everybody's mind, what happened to Clowncore? Fans would have to impatiently wait 3 more agonizing years for the answer. We are in a toilet. But it wasn't that simple, no. Fans had to use the audio frequencies from the video titled, Oh, to create a spectrograph in order to receive the image. Following that release, there were 2 more scary clown teasers, which continued to build the anticipation for what was to come. On March 13th of 2018, Hell was released for all to see. A suspenseful, anxiety-ridden explosion of monstrous synths and angers with a nice little break for some smooth jazz. all performed in the comfort of a SoCal porta potty. As tradition of the duo, the lyrics read like trivial humor. All of my turds go straight to hell, a small gift for the darkness itself. All of my farts come straight from hell, you're already dead if you notice the smell. This video marked a new era for Clowncore, the toilet era. The album was packed with several bangers, some more replayable than others, I'll admit. But I find the madness and insanely well-timed breaks from the fast-paced drums and saxophone to make a wonderful album. Google Your Own Death clearly stands out from the hardcore energy and chaos, with its heavy retro-inspired composition, which is extremely beautiful and serene, and in my opinion, I think it's the peak of the album. This project was certainly made with a lot of attention to detail and musicality, of course with a lot of SHIT posts. Clowncore uploaded a teaser video with a spectrograph that read, "It has begun." September 8th of 2020 was a glorious day for all Clowncore fans and enthusiasts. A 1997 Toyota Previa, the iconic clowns, and their mischievous masked chauffeur, and the release of the beginning of their third self-release project, Van. An album that keeps to what has made Clowncore so unique, but by improving on almost every aspect with some of their greatest sounding and most innovative tracks. The album begins with a harsh and chaotic sound on tracks like Flat Earth and Van, which features the sharp, aggressive synths and punchy drums and bass with the occasional clown horn interjected, and of course, masterful saxophone breakdowns. Computers has an almost classic-like horror movie sound, with spooky synth chords, which is then immediately followed up by quite the opposite. Tears of God is a piece of smooth jazz that calms the soul. It really is rejuvenating and provides that much needed break from the upcoming tracks like Keyboard that starts to rebuild that suspense with a little something splattered on the keyboard. Yeah, at the end of the album is the end. A slow piano song that tugs at the heartstrings more than anything, and further signifies the talent and duality this anonymous duo possesses. When I try and wrap my head around this album and Clowncore in general, my mind drifts to that common sentiment nowadays that nothing matters, or the recent popularization of the phrase,
we are on a floating rock in the middle of space, so nothing matters.
This idea of thinking that we are these tiny beings existing in such a blip of time, really more like a fraction of a crumb in the paradox of time, is demonstrated by these small confined spaces that Clowncore performs in. On the Tears of God video, we see the van sitting in a vacant parking lot at night, while the stars behind are shimmering. A beautiful and yet daunting piece of imagery alluding to the notion that we are just a speck of a speck in that sky. This idea is further evident in a lot of the lyrics in Van. On computers, they claim that artificial intelligence will overtake humankind, and that it will search for answers that it may not reach before the death of the universe, in which, moments before the death of everything, these AIs will create a sort of simulation that will last only a minute of time before the end of the universe, but everything in that simulation will still experience millions of years because it will mirror a simpler time, the very one we are living in right now. The fact that the same album features iconic lines like "The earth is flat because you are fat" shows that left clown and right clown, that is their official identities on Genius, are the glass full type of people. And the fact that they are clowns just mashing random genres of music with the most absurd gags shows that there is a lot of fun to be had when nothing matters. And when nothing matters, everything does, doesn't it? While you may exist for a very short period of time, that just means that everything you do, every accomplishment, every friendship, every laugh, and every little moment is a big one for you, and it matters. This still doesn't mean I understand anything that Clowncore does, but it does make me love it even more. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video, and if you liked it, you could leave a like. If you didn't, you could leave a dislike, and subscribe if you want to. It's been a while since I uploaded. I hope you liked it.